Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of Pick a Side on Patreon. NFL Week 12 Pick'em. The NFL season is going by so fast, and I mean, listen, I hate to break it to you guys, but right now I'm in the lead for the Pick'ems in
Barely,
terms of the
barely,
win-loss record. I'm in the
barely.
lead, and Santos gave me an excellent idea. And by the way, right now we're on Patreon because Riv got his teeth pulled out.
Same
He's
here.
not feeling the best. He wants to be at home. Drew's throat is fucked up. We don't know what he's been doing behind the scenes at home. And then
Venom.
me and Dels, we was down to come to the studio, but just unfortunate events. We got outvoted. Santos gave me the idea that we should do a trophy or a championship belt. And I was like, I'm in favor of the championship belt.
WWE belt for sure.
Whoever gets the most wins at the NFL season gets to hold up that championship. Like I'm the pick'em champion for the 2023 NFL season.
I like that idea a lot.
It's something about me and championships. They just go together so well. I like that idea for sure.
You got to lock in, man, because you got a lot of ground to make up, Drew.
What are you talking about, me? I'll tell you what, Joel, I don't know what it has been with you lately, and just the delusion that goes on in that head of yours when it comes to talking to me. Because to start, first off, I'm 1 game behind. We're going to be all right. Number 2, you're talking about, me and Dels were down to go to the studio. When Dels in the chat, I wish I could pull it up. StreamYard, please.
Please.
Guy really thought he was going to get low with that. Stop playing with me.
I was going to let that slide.
Usually when we do these pick'ems, we go game by game and we just, rattle all these off and just give our prediction. But for this one, I think we'll probably just pick certain games that we want to go a little bit in depth on and then just do our picks at the very end of the show. So just off the week 12 NFL slate, what are some games that are catching your attention? I'm going to start with you, Dels.
Damn, we just had a big trade go down in my Dynasty League. Drew, did you see this?
Oh, God.
We just saw, for anyone who's interested, Justin Herbert, Cam Akers in a third got traded for Joe Burrow, Terry McLaurin in a first-round pick. Wow.
Which dynasty? Finest?
Finest, yeah. I'm a little flustered now. Let me pull up the schedule. Sorry, I wasn't.
Just go to your phone and go to the messages, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. So the first game that sticks out, I mean, we got to talk about Dolphins Jets, right? No, I'm kidding. I think game of the week, the one that sticks out to me, and I'm skipping a little bit here, but Bills Eagles. That's got to be the game everyone's looking at. 4:00 game, and you know where I'm going, man. You know where I'm going. Those Philadelphia Eagles, Joel. It's time you start giving them their due respect. They beat you Kansas City Chiefs. Now they're gonna go and Riv. I don't know where you're gonna go. These are both of your teams. They're gonna go Buffalo or they're home, but they'll host Buffalo. There'll be some great hosts, I'm sure. They're gonna take care of business. They're gonna go on to what they're gonna be 10-1 now. Jalen Hurts 27-2 potentially in those last 29. Ooh,
nice.
Give me Philly in this game, man.
Jalen Hurts will get to 30 wins before Zach Wilson gets to 15 touchdowns. I just want y'all to understand how terrible he is. But yeah, Dels, it's Eagles 17 straight weeks, buddy. Never stops. Philadelphia Eagles. You saw AJ Brown is questionable. He might not play.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't practice today, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, that's in Philly. The crowd's gonna be lit, especially reeling off Arrowhead W. For me, it's going to be the Jaguars and the Texans. Like sure. that's going to be one. That's another one. I don't know how you skipped over that. I actually understand why, because your quarterback is in Philly. But Jaguars, Texans. The Texans already beat them early on in the season. I believe they're a game back or they're tied at the moment. One of those. This is probably for the division right here. They got a couple more games after this, of course. But if Houston wins this game right here, if they win it right here, oh man, the uproar for this team is going to be insane. That means they have the tiebreaker. They already beat them twice. All they have to do is tie, which would be great for Houston. And a team who in the offseason, fresh off a playoffs where they came back from 27 points, they beat the Chargers going into the second round, gave a hard-fought battle. Coming into this year, they had a lot of expectations. People thought they were going to run this division. Us, like most of us included, they didn't think the Texans weren't ready yet. The Colts wouldn't be ready yet. But the Colts also Got to give respect. They're right behind both of these teams at 5-5. Got to give them a little respect. No AR with Gardner Minshew. They've been playing well. But the Texans, man, they've pretty much shot up their way into the conversation for best team in the AFC South. And this is probably one of the biggest games of the week because the Eagles and the Bills, I think that game is more important for the Bills than the Eagles. The Eagles don't need to win that game. You know, they want to win, of course, but if they lose, they'll be 9-2, still sitting pretty at the top of the NFC. The Bills need that game way more. For the Texans and the Jaguars, this is a must-win for both parties. So I'm definitely looking at this game as the biggest game of the week.
Of course, Joel. I hate when you do this to me,
bro. You're supposed to talk.
All right.
Are you guys gonna give your picks? Like I'm bringing up the Eagles and Bills game. He's bringing up the Texans.
I don't
game.
know
Like,
what happened
are we doing
there.
here.
No,
We're acting like it's the first time we've done Patreon.
It's like
That's
the fifth
fine.
time in 2 weeks.
No,
What
but
are we
also
doing?
the only like what kind of organization are we doing here? Yeah, this is gonna be different. We're just go over the games that we like. I'm just like, okay, let's get a little out of the box. Obvious answer: Browns Broncos. Broncos on a 4-game heater. We had this entire segment.
Obvious?
This is big beef between me and Riv. This is
This
obvious
is.
because when we talk about pick aside and
Me, you, and Dels.
our debates. Oh, now Dell's
Glad to.
included in this. That's true.
Dell's
But
included.
again,
Just
Whoever's going against Cleveland, that's just my team.
every week Cleveland plays, I got beef with Dels. Let's just stamp that in.
but of course that is obvious because when it comes to me and Riv, we've been having our back and forth with the Browns and the Broncos, most definitely. A lot on the line here. So that's definitely one I'm highlighting. Not too many other games that really stand out to me overly. Ravens Chargers should be a great game for sure. Dolphins Jets, that's an obvious one. Thinking about going to this game, honestly. Would love to see Tua in MetLife. But no other real dominant performances outside of the obvious ones that were mentioned.
You shouldn't go see that, bro.
Why? Because it might be a bloodbath.
Yeah, like you're gonna want to have
Yeah.
to see Jets offense. You don't want to see that. You
No,
don't
I'm
wanna-
gonna go there. I'm gonna go there to see Tua and Tyreek go fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we got some guys back there that not gonna
You
let
do.
that happen.
You do have some guys.
It's not
but-
gonna let that happen. Sauce is the best corner in the league. If you ain't know, by the way,
Really?
he not gonna let that
Shakir
happen.
didn't know. Yeah,
Shakir isn't all. That's just a dime of
You
a
know what
pass.
it
That's
is, bro?
Mr.
You
Josh
know what
Allen.
it is? It's something about mid wide receivers getting theirs on the elite. We're talking about a
Yeah.
Sauce getting burned by Shakir. We're talking about a PS2 getting burned by a Chosen Anderson. Happens to the best.
that was
You're
insane.
fast. Sometimes just gonna get
Yes,
behind
you're
that,
fast.
man.
You're fast. It is what it is.
There's a ton of Week 12 games that I'm excited for. Some for different reasons than others. Bills and Eagles, I'm excited for because whenever you get to see two elite quarterbacks duel it out, it's always going to be a show. Texans and Jaguars has the biggest implications of any game this week because it's for the AFC South division, I think, for the most part. Even if the Texans lose, they have an outside chance of maybe catching up, but wild card is the best case scenario. If the Jags win, they all but lock that AFC South division up. The Buccaneers Colts, I think it's going to be a fun game. Colts are 5-5. The Bucs are 4-6. The Buccaneers have been playing some good football. The 49ers beat them last week, but I thought the game was much closer than the score indicated. The Bucs had a lot of chances to capitalize offensively. They just couldn't, and their defense kind of came to life later on in that game. And for an opposite reason, like I just think this game is just between two terrible teams, but I think it could be really fun. That's the Panthers and Titans. I have no idea who I'm going to pick in that game. I know the Titans are like the obvious answer, but that is such a toss-up game to me, and it's going to be very unpredictable. But it's a lot of games, man, that I'm looking forward to watching. And, of course, Thanksgiving. I'm getting treated to the first game of the day. That's the Packers and Lions because you know my boy Jay Love is coming off his best 3 games of his career. And I love me some Jay Love. The way he drops back, throws that ball, I'm in love with Jay Love,
This
baby.
is embarrassing.
Jay
It's mental
Love,
illness.
Jordan Love. Yeah.
Are
So
you gonna pick the
Packers, hell yeah, I'm going for the Packers, Dells.
You're
Jay
picking
Love-
No, are you picking them? I know you're rooting for them. Are you picking
Yes,
them?
I'm picking the Packers, baby. You
Can
know
we just
I'm
get
picking
to
the
our
Packers.
picks? Can
No,
we get
that's
to our
huge.
picks,
Dude,
please?
That's huge. That's
You know
that's
I'm
gonna be a
picking
win
the
for
Packers,
us.
baby.
'Cause
Yeah,
I feel like-
you thought it was a win last week when I picked them over the Chargers, and you was buffoon. You was dumbfounded that the Packers and Jay Love found a way
I
to win
wouldn't
that
say
football
dumbfounded.
game.
The Chargers are
You
so
was
mid. I would be
shocked.
dumbfounded if they lose to the Packers.
You was shocked.
The Lions.
The Lions last couple of games, their defense been looking very, very fraudulent against
mid.
teams that shouldn't be scoring this many points. The Bears scored a plethora of points, and I think
Hey.
Jay Love has learned from
Fields
his
is
first
back,
matchup versus Detroit. You best believe Jay Love is ready. Jay Love is ready to do some damage.
Question. Another under the radar game I think is Saints and the Falcons.
Yes.
The Saints haven't locked up their
Hey.
division yet.
NFC South
No.
division.
They are also very, very much a mid-ass team. How are we viewing that one? That's another one that has a extreme, division implications. I think the Saints are at 5-5. The Falcons are at 4-6, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but they're definitely right behind the Saints. But the Saints leading their division. That one is another one that same thing with the Texans and the Jaguars has insane division implications for a division that we don't think isn't going to do much in the playoffs, but nonetheless, we need a winner at that division.
Yeah, we
It's
have
tough.
there's some quarterback issues in that game. You have on one side the Falcons, Desmond Ridder is going to be starting once again, and the Saints are still dealing with Derek Carr and his concussion. He practiced in full today, so a good sign that he'll probably play. They had to bye last week, so going on 2 weeks now of rest, quote unquote, for Derek Carr to be able to play. But I do think that the Saints will come out on top there. I like, that Arthur Smith is listening a little bit. I think his seat is getting hotter and hotter by the week because these last few weeks we've seen Tyler Algier, his snaps go down, and we've seen Bijan kind of be more of the workhorse role that we've expected him to be. He's not seeing that 20, 25 carries that some people might have expected coming into the year, but he's becoming more of that 70%-ish type of snap percentage guy that I think a lot of people were saying this probably can be the baseline for him. So I think Arthur Smith is slowly, giving into the media and reporters and what everyone's saying online, saying, why don't you use your best players? Sometimes he's outthinking the room here, but I got the Saints in this matchup. I think that overall, even though I don't like both head coaches, I trust Dennis Smith a bit more. And Desmond Ridder, I don't really know what to expect because although he got benched, he did have a couple of decent games leading up to getting benched. And Taylor Heineke got injured. Even when he played, he wasn't great. So I'm trusting Derek Carr here. Chris Olave, of course, Alvin Kamara. I think I just like their offense and trust them to be able to put up points rather than the Falcons and Desmond Ridder going on the road, I believe, too, right? Is that
No, Falcons are home.
Yeah, Falcons.
the Falcons are home. Okay, that makes it a little more difficult. But I still think I'll do the Saints here.
Yo, breaking news. I just received new Pick Aside merch is being sent to the crib for us to try on and model.
Here we go.
I just farted.
Break. But Saints Falcons battle of the mids. Saints 5-5, Falcons 4-6.
Jesus Christ.
It stinks in there, bro.
Yo, bro, that shit was bad.
What'd you eat today, bro?
Pizza.
Probably nothing. Oh,
I was
Just
gonna
had
say
pizza.
no McDonald's today, bro.
I can't, dude. I can't. Maybe like some fries. I'm 24 hours. I'm cooked, bro. I can't eat shit. Even tomorrow, I'll go eat like yams and macaroni.
I'll tell you what. This breakdown of the Patreon is kind of confusing me. If we're just
Is
gonna
there an
go
I
and
don't know what the
select,
fuck we're doing.
I don't know either. But I'm just
if-
gonna go.
Joel's up here doing
The
God knows
fucking
what.
host would pay attention and regulate shit. Maybe we can figure out what we're
It's
today
pretty
and then
simple. It's
yesterday.
pretty simple. Talk about the
He's on his
game
phone
that you
and
are most
shit.
interested in. And the
Like, can
reason
we
why
just go one by one?
the reason why I say that is because Riv, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you want to talk about the Rams and Cardinals? Do you want to talk about
Just
that?
low key.
You don't talk about that.
Low key, that's
good
not
team.
bad. We get Kyler versus Matt Stafford. That's not a terrible matchup. I see.
Do you
want
want to talk about the Patriots Giants?
Can
Riv?
we just
Fuck
go
no.
by the
Fuck no.
games
You
one by one,
Panthers,
and we can just
Titans.
move
brought
on
Panthers,
accordingly like we normally do?
About Cardinals, Rams.
Nah, I'm
Ridiculous,
Titans.
ridiculous, man.
All
Look
right,
at them, look at
first game, Packers
Thank you.
Lions. Who are you taking?
Lions. This should be an easy win for them, man.
Not for
Yes.
him, clearly.
I'm going with the Lions. I expect Jordan Love to have a good statistical performance. This secondary is not good. I believe that Jordan Love can have a good game. That being said, Detroit, last time they played, it wasn't even a matchup for them. They waxed Green Bay in Green Bay. It was very reminiscent of last year when they ruined Aaron Rodgers' chance of going to the playoffs. The Lions should win this game. I expect their offense to continue to click and Jared Goff to be a little bit cleaner than he was last week versus the Bears, even though he did come out with a W. I still believe Jordan Love's going to have a good game, Joel, all right? I'm just saying so that you don't say that I'm disrespecting. He can have himself a good game and still come up short.
For me, I don't expect Jared Goff to throw them duds like he did last week. I think he was just very out of walk. He was throwing some really bad, really bad interception. I don't expect him to do that again. And Detroit's defense has been looking a little suspect, but I still think this offense is good enough to get them the W. So I'll go Detroit in this one.
Detroit's defense been looking suspect. Jordan Love, I think he's going to have a good game. But it all comes down to that run defense for the Packers. Can they stop the run? I don't know if they can. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions in this one.
Yo, what the fuck?
This guy needs help, man. All right, doesn't matter to me. I'm cool with the answer. Because he's trying to do his best to stay in this running because he knows what's at stake now. We got a championship belt on the line. Business is business. Next game, Commanders and Cowboys. Now, you think it's going to be a wash, which I think it should be.
The Commanders haven't won a division game all year.
Wow.
I think this game will be closer than because I think the spread on this game is like 10, 11 points. It's 12 and a half. Yeah. The Cowboys haven't covered a Thanksgiving game in like a decade or something. I saw some stat on Twitter. They haven't covered in forever. And Washington's, they're not a great team, but they could score points, coming off a pretty bad loss against New York Giants. So I think most people penciled in the Giants is probably losing out, maybe squeaking in a win. I think they have like New England on the schedule, but no one was expecting Tommy DeVito to do anything. And the fact that he went out there and put up a pretty impressive day, that just goes to show how kind of just down in the dumps this Washington defense is. Ron Rivera's on the hot seat. There's not much going right in Washington defensively, but you can look at the offense and you could say they could score points regardless of how great this Cowboys defense has been. They've been a top 5 scoring defense. They get to the quarterback a ton. I'm expecting a ton of sacks on Sam Howell this week. They've played some pretty fraudulent offenses. So I do think the Commanders will be able to score, but the Cowboys are just, they're more talented than them. They should come out on top.
Sorry, Riv. Listen, there's something about the stats with that quarterback in Washington that are super inflated. He has a ton of attempts. He turns the ball over a ton. He takes a ton of sacks. For as much good plays as he makes equally amount of bad plays. He has lost the Commanders games this year. The fact that they got embarrassed by the Giants the way they did, and I think getting embarrassed is letting Tommy DeVito score 3 touchdowns on you. That's an embarrassment. I don't care if the game was close. That is an outright embarrassment. The Cowboys are going to Sam Howell. The Cowboys are going to beat the Commanders pretty easily. I think they can cover this spread for the first time ever. I understand it's division matchup. Dak Prescott is going to feast on this defense, and very quietly, Dak Prescott is putting himself in that MVP conversation. The Cowboys have a great record. Dak is playing as great as any quarterback in the league right now statistically. This is the Cowboys game to win 100% all day.
The Cowboys have known routinely this year that they beat up on the bad. They beat up on the mid. That's one thing they do. They show out against teams like this. And you mentioned it. DeVito cooked the Commanders. I don't see why Dak shouldn't put up a damn near historic day. I think Dallas's defense is good enough to where they can lock up the Commanders. So I'm going to go Dallas. I think even the spread is being generous.
All right.
The Cowboys, I have the number here. The Cowboys are 1-11 against the spread since 2011. So they have not been covering.
On Thanksgiving?
Yeah, on Thanksgiving.
They played that. Wow, shout out to them.
Yeah, they play every Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They covered the spread last week.
Glazing.
No, saying on Thanksgiving.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in general. They covered the spread last week because I took the spread and I won a 3-leg parlay, and one of them picks was that.
Oh, you actually want to bet?
I did.
Wow, nice, bro.
The money is
right. All right, next game up, Niners and Seahawks. I'm just gonna start it off. I'm going with the Niners here. I'm not thinking too much about it. Seahawks are trending towards fraudulent very quickly.
Yep, I'm going with the Niners too. Geno Smith is expected to play. Kenneth Walker is expected to be out. But the Niners have been rolling these last 2 weeks, offense and defense both clicking. Brock Purdy has played damn near perfect for 2 games, as Riv mentioned, is this week in the NFL. On yesterday's show, perfect passer rating against the Buccaneers, had some beautiful dimes. They're playing their best football of the season, in my opinion, and they're doing it at the right time. So give me the Niners.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah. All right.
Geno
Joel.
Smith has an elbow injury. I don't know how serious it is. I think this is going to be a close scoring game. It is in Seattle with that 12th man crowd. It is going to be a tough environment, but I got the Niners. Talanoa Hufanga tore his ACL. Prayers up to him. He's a big time loss, but the 49ers are so talented, they can make up for that, and they got all the playmakers. So, when you got a top 10 guy like Brandon Ayuk, you can make a lot of quarterbacks look good. So I'm going with the 49ers.
All right. Black Friday.
Hold on.
Don't bait. Don't bait. You're buying the bait.
Yeah,
It's bait.
Drew, I just want to say, I thought we was past this. I thought we grown from this. We're in week 12. At what point are we gonna stop debating and just understand?
Isn't it so coincidental that Ayuk became top 10 the season that Brock Purdy started?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't it?
Wait, what am I saying wrong? Dells, would Brandon Ayuk not go to an offense like the Broncos and make Russ a better player?
I would do anything.
Brandon Ayuk would go
back.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk would make a lot of quarterbacks better. That's not a knock, he's just a great player. Maybe you got to give some respect to him because you were also disrespectful to him.
Okay, just go ahead. I'm just because only one of them can win MVP, and only one of them is going to be in the conversation.
I never said Ayuk was an MVP candidate.
No, I just you glazed Ayuk and said nothing about Purdy. It was very shocking to me. But
how did I glaze him? I said one thing about him. I said he made a lot of quarterbacks better.
He's top 10. He's top 10.
Well, all I'm saying, because before the season, I was on an Ayuk hype train.
Ayuk might not be top 10. He might not be top 10.
He's top 10.
Might not be there.
If you want to tell me he's not top 10 and you might have him like at 11, 12, I don't care. He's top 10. He gets the most open. He gets the second most open of any receiver in the NFL. He's top 6 in total EPA when targeted. Like every single statistic, every single raw measure shows that he's one of the best.
Also, Brock Purdy's every single statistic, every single raw metric is top of the league.
Nice.
Yet you don't care. But
over
that guy.
Obviously, you don't care either. Obviously, you don't care.
Drop in the chat about the playoffs. What was that number?
It was 2022 plus 2023, including the playoffs. Brock Purdy's EPA is higher than Patrick Mahomes.
One of the greatest ever.
Riv, obviously you don't care either because you called Purdy a middle of the pack quarterback.
What are you talking about?
You never ranked them highly. When we said where does Purdy rank, you rank them in the middle of the pack of the quarterbacks. Obviously you don't care about those stats either.
But Joel, I don't never ever bring up stats. What I'm saying is you just brought up stats.
Is that not
about Brandon Ayuk? And all I said was it's interesting though because you never talk about Brock Purdy's amazing, beautiful stats because they are by far one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life.
If they're so beautiful, then tell me his top 5 quarterback right now. If they so
I'm
beautiful.
not delusional.
If they so top 5 quarterback, right?
If they so beautiful,
top 5 quarterback.
If they so beautiful.
Oh, you know what? I'll say top 10. I'll say he's like 10 or 11.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you.
We're
getting somewhere.
Top 5. I respect my elders and I respect one of them more.
We're getting somewhere.
Top 11, top 10. He's gonna be better than Dak after this year.
No, nice. Even on the would you rather when I said Dak or Purdy, you took Dak.
I think Dak's better right now. Okay. Dak is top 10.
All right.
Dak is top 10 right now. All right. Black Friday game. Dolphins versus Jets. Dolphins round table, correct? Unless Joel's going to come from left field.
Is Dell's picking the Jets?
Listen.
Okay. I didn't pick a
Listen, if Aaron Rodgers is playing, then we would have won this game pretty easily. But he's not playing. Listen, the Dolphins should win this game, but you get Tua, you get a primetime standalone game. You don't know what you're gonna get. There's Tua throw 3 interceptions. He fumbled twice and then give the Jets great field position. You don't know. So
not what Tua does.
Tua is always like a candidate to implode on the biggest stages. So I don't know. I'll take the Dolphins though. Right,
this isn't a big stage.
They should win. Nice.
This isn't
Black
a big
Friday.
stage.
It's a standalone game.
It's
the entire world's
Black
gonna watch.
Friday game.
Yes, it's the first ever one.
This is a big time game. Damn,
this ain't no big time game.
There's just no pressure. You should go out there and smoke the chance.
Maybe he plays better Friday night as opposed to Sunday night. Maybe it's better. Or Friday afternoon.
Moving on to the Sunday slate of games. We're going Buccaneers, Colts. Who are we leaning, gentlemen?
I'll be honest. We have a lot of mid-pack of games that could go either way. It's one of the uglier slates of the NFL season. We do have a couple really nice games that we talked about earlier on, but this one included. I just don't know like who's going to show up here. On one side, I want to trust the Colts because they've been playing, pretty feisty after losing AR. You have Jonathan Taylor back. Michael Pittman's playing well. They just released Shaq Leonard, which was a bit surprising too. But the Buccaneers on the other side too have also shown some life here and there. Baker Mayfield has been playing decent football throughout the season. Mike Evans feels a bit rejuvenated this season as well. I think I'm going to slightly lean the Colts at home, leaning on Jonathan Taylor. But this is, again, another 50-50 game that could go either way.
I think I lean Buccaneers in this one. Colts, they've been playing some solid football for sure. I think the run game should be able to make a huge impact on this game. Although you look at the Buccaneers and defensively, that's their strength. I only say that the run game will be a prominent role in this game is because you have Jonathan Taylor. We've seen with Jonathan Taylor now getting more and more comfortable in the offense. Zach Moss has kind of been faded out to a certain degree. But Gardner Minshew has been able to do an all right job. Michael Pittman has been very good. And of course, Josh Downs has been having a strong connection with Gardner Minshew. But the Buccaneers are playing some really solid football, under the radar football. Baker Mayfield, got to give his flowers while we can. And I say that with the idea of I've been very vocal that Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback. He's been playing some very solid football this year. Going up against the Colts, he should not have a problem with scoring some points. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rachaad White, who's been a huge part of their offense as well. I think they'll just be able to outscore the Indianapolis Colts.
This is the desperation game for the Buccaneers. It is. And I think the last couple of weeks, the Bucs have been close in games versus the Texans. That was a shootout that they lost, but Baker Mayfield gave them a chance to win at the very end. I'm going to go with the Bucs here. The Colts, I don't trust Gardner Minshew much. He tends to have a lot of turnover-worthy plays. They don't get capitalized on as much, but I don't trust that versus a feisty Buccaneers defense. They can stop the run. They can force them into some bad throws. And to speak on the Shaq Leonard release for just a little bit, like maybe 2 years ago, this move would have been big, but he is not even a top 2 linebacker on that team. Zaire Franklin is better and EJ Speed are both better players than him at this point. I'd be shocked if a primetime contender goes after him, just given what he provides and his role and skill set. I'm going with the Buccaneers, though. This is a desperation game for them. If they want to maintain standing in the NFC South, they got to win this. So I'm going with Baker.
Everybody pick the Bucs.
I picked the Colts.
Dallas picked the Colts.
Give me the Colts.
All right. Patriots, Giants. Battle of the mids. I'm not going to try and talk about this one too much.
Nice.
Yeah, battle of the garbage.
Yeah.
Going with the Patriots. I just can't see Bill Belichick get lit up by a Tommy DeVito. I just don't see it happening.
I can't see it happening either, but I can see either Mac Jones or whoever this guy is, Bailey Zappi, turning the ball over and then costing them a game that is won by a field goal. I mean, the Colts beat them 10-6. Tommy DeVito was with Brian Dable as a head coach. He's going to scheme things up that, this year only 2 quarterbacks on that team were able to really have success with. But I'm going to go with the Patriots. I just can't trust the Giants. As long as Tom DeVito's the quarterback, I can't trust him. I'm going with the Patriots.
I just think the Patriots are not saying much, but the better team, especially with the Giants missing a lot of their quarterbacks. Patriots defense is better. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. They both suck. So realistically, there is no window here, but I'll go Patriots because of their defense. They can pretty much shut down the Giants.
I have no faith in either of these teams. The Giants have Tommy DeVito, and the Patriots feel like they're spiraling. It's a new rumor every day with Bill Belichick. There's rumors that Mac Jones lost the locker room. The Patriots at an all-time low right now, in my lifetime at least. But I think going up against Tommy DeVito, I'm looking at the Commanders game more as a fluke than something that's going to keep going. So I'll take New England.
All right, next game, Steelers-Bengals.
The Jake Browning game.
This isn't as easy of a pick as I thought it would be because I think the Bengals will at least move the ball somewhat, and their defense is good. We're not sure how this Steelers at post-Matt Canada offense will look like. I'm betting on it will look way better, at least, because he can't look as bad as it was. I'm going to pick the Steelers on the road.
I'm going with the Steelers also. With Jake Browning at quarterback, TJ Watt is going to find himself in the backfield. I just have a strong inclination of that. Maybe a candidate for defensive player of the week, that type of impact. But without Matt Canada, I am mostly looking forward to watching this offense and how they move the ball down the field. Is Jalen Warren going to be the primary back? Is Najee Harris actually going to have some different type of plays ran for him? Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, who's been complaining a lot. This is one of those where we didn't talk about it prior to when we were doing our games that we're most interested in. Now that I really think about it, this Steelers-Bengals, it'll be a fun game to watch, strictly talking about the Steelers football, because they're a team that is winning games that we feel like they shouldn't be, but they're in contention to make the playoffs. I'm going with the Steelers in this one.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning Pittsburgh too. I didn't think Jake Browning looked terrible when he played last Thursday. He also has 10 days to prepare. Of course, getting all of the snaps. He was just thrown into the fire up against Baltimore, who we know is one of the best defenses in the league. But I'm not expecting him to look completely overmatched. I think he could probably game manage his way throughout the rest of this regular season. I don't think it'll be enough for the Bengals to get into the playoffs by any means. And they're also probably going to be without T. Higgins for another week. He didn't practice again today, dealing with that hammy. Of course, that's something you have to be careful about. And I'm with you guys. The offense for the Steelers can't get worse after firing Matt Canada. They did promote someone internally. I want to say it's their running backs coach who's going to be calling plays going forward. And I'm excited to see what Jalen Warren, is he going to have a bigger role? Because we got the news last week that he's going to be the starting running back, and Najee still had more snaps than him, even though Jalen Warren was by far the more efficient running back, had that 75-yard touchdown. So I'm hoping with the new offensive coordinator change, we will see the skill position group, which has guys, tight end, receiver, running back. They have some guys there. But ultimately, just big picture real quick, I don't think this is going to change much for Kenny Pickett. I don't think he's the guy. I do think the Steelers should be looking for a new quarterback in this offseason, but I don't think they will.
Steelers.
All right, next game, Panthers versus Titans. I'm going with the
Where are
Titans.
you going with, Joel? So you're no Bryce Young. No, I'm going with Bryce Young. He's not gonna be 1-9. He's gonna, have a 2-9 record now.
No, I'm going with the Titans.
No Panthers.
Titans should win this
Right.
game. Derrick Henry, he could be in contention for Offensive Player of the Week. That's how big of a week I think that he can have. Okay. Going up against this Carolina Panthers rush defense that is damn near bottom of the dead last bottom of the league. They've been atrocious. I'm going to go with Titans, and I think Derrick Henry definitely leaves his mark on this one.
What do you think, Riv?
I'm going to take Bryce Young breakout game. Oh, big game, and take the Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going right here.
I'm going with the Titans here. Sorry,
I don't like Will Levis, man. I don't really like his game.
I'm shocked.
Okay.
Why?
Huh?
Any particular reason?
Just somebody made me hate him, man. So every time he do some bullshit, I don't like that, man.
The Will Levis franchise quarterback train definitely took a bit of a hit these last couple of weeks. Did not look like the same guy he did against
it was a week,
Atlanta,
bro. It was
Pittsburgh.
A
week. I'm gonna take the Titans here, though.
It was viral.
I'm gonna take the Titans here. I think Vrabel has gone a little bit snippy at the podium, asking, do you think I'm losing the locker room? There's also on the other side some small rumors. Will Frank Reich be a one-and-done coach? Because this season, people weren't expecting anything amazing, but I don't think they were expecting 1-9 either, and this offense look as putrid as it's looked. But I have to go with Tennessee here. I think there's the better coach team. They have more talent. And I think defensively, I can't trust Bryce Young to do anything. He couldn't do anything against the Chicago Bears, and while I still think his future is bright, he still has some traits that I look at saying that he could be a good quarterback in the league. This offense, between the blocking, lack of separation, coaching staff, it's just one of the worst in the NFL.
All right,
there's no way that I would there's just no way I can trust the Packers. I mean, I can trust the Panthers week to week. I'm going with the Titans. I trust their infrastructure a bit more. And like you said, the Panthers' run defense is not very good. So I'm going with the Titans. And Will Levis should have a great game, Riv, by the way.
We had dudes up here glazing after 1 week talking about this might have been the greatest performance
4 touchdowns. It was crazy.
It
was a really good performance.
It's been real. Just one thing about the NFL, man. You could do something 1 week, you could be forgotten the next.
Yes, that's the truth. Brother.
Absolutely.
All right, Jaguars, Texans. Who you got?
Who you going with, Riv? I know where you're going.
I'm going with Twin at home. Houston's home. CJ's there. I'm going with Twin. They win in the division. And I firmly believe that. I put that in my heart, in my soul.
I'll tell you what, I think I'm with Riv. I don't know about the division yet, but I think this is a game that the Texans can definitely win. I know that the Jaguars are going to be looking a little bit desperate, knowing that they lost to them earlier in the season. but the Texans offense right now is one of the most explosive that there is in the league. And you guys know how I feel about that Jaguars defense. I think that CJ Stroud can continue his dominance going up against the Jags, especially at home.
This is the separation here, Drew. This is where I take 2-game lead over you, because as much as I love the Texans, they're 4-1 at home. The Jaguars are one of the best road teams in the NFL. And it's something about Zay Jones being in the lineup that just makes this offense an explosive offense. And I laid down the reasons on a Bleacher Report sheet that we had. I'm going to go with the Jaguars on the road. I hate to do it, but CJ Stroud coming off a 3-interception performance. I think the Jaguars can force some turnovers because they've been a very turnover-heavy team in defense this entire year. I'm going to go with the Jaguars on the road, and I'm going to go with another big-time Trevor Lawrence performance.
Trevor Lawrence last week, I think, it was either his 3rd or 4th highest ADOT in the Doug Peterson era. They were moving the ball downfield. This whole season, it's really been a lot of kind of dinking and dunking, intermediate stuff, not a lot of down-the-field shots, but we did see, and you mentioned it, Joel, Zay Jones in the lineup changes what happens with Calvin Ridley. He's been in the lineup for 4 weeks. Calvin Ridley, 3 out of those 4 weeks, has had insane games. I lean with the Jags here. I don't think the Texans are going to sweep this division series. They beat them earlier in the season on the road. I think the Jaguars get their road victory this week.
All right, moving on. Saints versus Falcons.
Well, I gave my pick already earlier.
I'm going with the Saints. Falcons, I'm not moved. Defense, the rush defense specifically is very good, very solid. But Alvin Kamara is going to make it hurt regardless of how it is, whether it's in the rushing, mostly in the passing game. That's really where we've seen him thrive. You like that one, Riv?
I was laughing at
that.
But regardless, I know that the quarterback situation right now is a little bit up in the air with the Saints. I just think the Saints are a better team than the Falcons, and they'll pull this one out.
Atlanta.
This sucks to predict because I don't trust any team. I'm going to go with the Saints. Just going to trust their defense. I'm just going to go with them. I'm going with the Saints.
This is a vibes pick, Riv.
Yeah, man. Plus, my mouth is hurting, so I ain't really trying to talk too much.
All right, Rams versus Cardinals.
Ooh, I think the Rams win this one. I think the Rams are right now making a playoff push, and they need to win every single game going forward. I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm with you, Joel. I'm going with the Rams. Cardinals in a game versus the Texans that was definitely winnable. Came up a little bit short. Kyler Murray looked very good, very solid. Of course, we said that with his debut, and then versus the Texans, his arm looked a little bit better than it did in his debut. So I'm leaning Rams. I think that the Cardinals still can put up a solid offensive performance, but regardless, Rams just have a little bit more talent on their squad. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp with his status up in the air. I still think that the offense can still be explosive now that Kyren Williams is making his return back onto the field.
Kyren Williams is going to be big. I lean the Rams here too. The Cardinals these last 2 weeks beat Atlanta. They were right into the end against Houston. They would Kyler throw an interception right at the end, or where they went 4 and out, whatever it might have been. But they were in that game. They turned CJ Stroud over 3 times, 3 interceptions, and he was right up there with best touchdown interception ratio. I think he had the best touchdown interception ratio entering last week. So I was impressed by this Cardinals defense being able to get multiple turnovers on him. But I do think you have to side with the Rams here. To Joel's point, it feels like they're a bit more desperate right now. They know that they can make a push for the playoffs. I like what I've seen from Kyler Murray. We've talked earlier in the year too. Jonathan Gannon's been doing a really good job with this team. But I trust Sean McVay, Matt Stafford, and company.
Rams.
Browns versus Broncos. I don't have to say a fucking word.
I got a lot to say here. I've been saving up my words here for this
saving
one.
your mouth for this one.
Yeah, this is my mouth ready for this one. Definitely.
Let me see that mouth work, boy.
Listen, man. DTR, he didn't play that
to work.
He didn't play that great until that last drive. He really put on a masterclass 4 for 4. The Browns just find the way to win games.
4 for 4 masterclass. Yeah.
Bro said that like 4 times yesterday. I gotta
give him some type of confidence. You know what I'm saying? So I got to prop him up. But Cleveland just finds a way to win. And this is an interesting game because this is Russell Wilson, like you mentioned, Drew, a day or two ago. He's a game manager. They do a lot of the good stuff. They run the ball. They dink and dunk. They don't make They don't be overzealous. They don't make extra plays they don't need to. They play the right way, and I think this defense for the Browns is going to be a tough test for them. But I trust this Cleveland Brown defense like I've been all year. So I'm going to pick them to win. I just think defensively they'll be able to get stops when they need to, and that Browns offense can and should score at minimum 10 points.
10 points.
Where you going with, Dallas? What you going with?
Need a defensive touchdown, man. I think you might need more than 10.
They could win 10-7. They could do it. So
they could.
Dell's tone, I feel like you're going with the Broncos.
I am signing with Denver here. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid with Denver.
My brother, boy.
They're on right now.
Y'all fake ass hoes.
Honestly, I'm pretty 50-50 with this game, but this little rivalry that Rav is throwing on me now with anyone against the Browns, like, fuck it. I'll buy in. I'll take the bait. I do think that the Browns.
You picked the Steelers and you hate them more than anybody over the Browns. That's when it started. That hurt me.
I just don't believe in DTR, unfortunately.
But you believed in Kenny Pickett? I didn't get that.
I don't believe in Kenny. I don't believe in anybody. Neither of them, I should say. Barely believe in Russ, but he's doing a job. But I do think the Browns can control the game on the ground. I think Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt are both going to have good games, be able to control time possession. But at the end of the day, Denver's been able to turn the ball over a ton. And while I don't think it's going to be sustainable in the long run, when they're going up against a quarterback like DTR, who has shown in the past to be prone to mistakes, whether that's interceptions, fumbling the ball, or just putting the ball in harm's way in general, I think Denver could get 1 or 2 turnovers. And if they just get 1 or 2 extra possessions and turn that into 6 points, that might be the difference that's needed, because I don't trust this Browns offense to consistently generate drives when DTR is their quarterback.
I think all you men use your mouth pretty well. I agree with a lot of points both of you guys made. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think they extended their win streak from 4 to 5 in this one.
Nah, bro. Don't
Rib, this is going to be a crazy week.
Joe. Give me a second, because I didn't say almost anything. Don't pick us, Joel. Don't pick us.
What do you mean don't pick you?
It's because you want our records to stay similar.
Did you pick the Vikings last week?
Because you want our records to stay similar. Go ahead.
No, I picked the Broncos.
I know you think the Browns are better. I know you think the Browns are better. Pick the Browns.
I don't think they're better. They don't have an offense.
Stop thinking about the record. You're thinking about the record too much. Pick the Browns. I know that's the team that you think that's better.
Now, listen, Drew, it's funny because you're mad because I was trying to get you to get the Broncos to win one more game and make the playoffs. That's why you're mad. Go ahead. That's why you're mad. I never said y'all was going to lose this game.
Pick the Browns.
No, I think the Broncos will win this game. That's who I think will win.
Super interesting. Okay. Next game, Bills versus Eagles. This should be a clean sweep, but I do know, unfortunately, that one member on this panel is not going to agree with us. Eagles should win this game. Let's not think too hard about it. Joel, talk to me. How are the Bills winning this game?
I heard you say that before, and you look like an idiot because the Jets won the game. You just shouldn't think too hard about it, and then the Jets won, baby. The Jets won, and the same thing gonna happen. It's gonna be the Bills winning. Listen, if you want to say the Eagles are favorites, sure. By the way, if you want to say the Eagles are favorites, sure, they should be favorites to win this game. But
and they're home. Josh
Allen. You can never count him out. That Buffalo Bills offense is going to score points. That's what they're going to do. And I think a Bills team in desperation mode, with them needing to get their season back on track because they're on the outside looking in, they need this win. So I'm going with the Bills.
All right, everyone else, Eagles, correct? We're flying high.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right.
Fly. Chiefs versus Raiders. We're all going Chiefs.
Are you going?
Why not? Go Raiders, bro. Mahomes not good. Mahomes overthrowing receivers.
Yeah, Chiefs for
when
sure.
When you're playing elite teams, then we have conversation. But we're playing the Raiders. Let's get real.
So the Dolphins were in the lead, or you picked the Dolphins too to beat the Chiefs.
I did pick the
and they lost.
The Dolphins.
I don't think he's picked against Miami all year.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. I have a positive record. However many wins the Dolphins have, that's how many wins I have. Ravens versus Chargers. I'm going with the Ravens.
Ravens.
Chargers defense is not good.
Yep, Baltimore.
Something about gut feelings, man. Something about a team with their backs against the wall and needing something.
Go ahead.
What is it? What does it need, buddy?
I'm so curious.
I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens, baby.
You had to know. This wasn't the one. You had to know.
I was waiting for a different answer.
All right, Bears versus Vikings.
Monday Night Football.
Give me the Vikings.
Where we going? Riv, where are you going? Justin Jefferson, I don't know if he's returning. I think I saw reports saying he might return after the bye, which is after this game.
Way more important than your fantasy team, bro. Stop it.
I agree.
So what do you think, Riv?
I I think the Vikings should win, but you saw a little different light from this Bears team against the Lions. You saw a team that looked like they can generate points, they can effectively get up the field. You saw Fields be more comfortable. They let him play his game. He had 100 yards on the ground, 160 in the air. He threw a bomb to DJ Moore, which was a beautiful pass. He just looked a lot more comfortable. So I think Vikings. I'm gonna pick the Vikings. I think they should win this game, but I am not comfortable picking against my brothers over there in Chicago. I'm just not comfortable at all.
They have the first overall pick.
No, because of the Panthers, not because of them.
A second overall pick, or
Gotcha.
whatever. They have top 3.
I think they have 1 and 4 right now, maybe or something like that.
And
I'm comfortable picking against the Bears.
And you have Zach Wilson. So what's your point?
Not no more. I got Tim Boyle.
That's even worse. Sorry, Dels.
I think I'd rather a pile of shit.
Well, we have your former quarterback, Trevor Siemian, baby.
Hey, he won 5 games with us. He started 5-0 with us the year after he won a Super Bowl.
Zach Wilson
he
or
could start
Tim
5-0
Boyle,
with
would
us.
you rather? That Tim Boyle, would you rather, is going to hit like crack when we beat Miami this week, man. I'm going with Minnesota this week, though. We're going Minnesota.
What are you going with? What are you going with, Drew?
I said, Skull.
This guy, man. Skull chant. My goodness. What are we doing here? What are we doing? So to rattle off the picks, how many picks do me and Drew have that are the same?
Yeah, you're being scared. You're scared.
We both picked
you're
the Bucks.
Scared.
We both picked the Titans. You're scared because I thought you go with your boy Bryce Young, who you told me was a better prospect than Kyler Murray coming out of college. So I thought you would go with Bryce Young.
Why, Joel? I've really had enough of the line. Stop.
You said that. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
Kyler
you did.
Murray.
Yes.
Oh my God, who's one of my favorite players in the game?
And Bryce Young is one of your favorite college players, 100%.
No, he's not.
Yes, he was. bro. Am I tripping? Was Drew not?
Bryce was
going
number
crazy
1 on my
for Bryce
board.
Young?
He was number 1 on my board. Is that okay?
He was going crazy for Bryce Young, bro.
He was number 1 overall pick. I'm not the only one.
No, I'm not saying you was only one. I'm just saying you were one of them.
Not better than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was all world. Didn't he win Heisman?
I was telling y'all the difference between Kyler and Bryce Young is that he don't got Kyler's athleticism or arm, and then you was arguing with me about that.
No, I was not.
Listen, we got the Jaguars and Texans pick is different because you picked the Texans.
Yeah.
We both picked the Saints. We both picked the Broncos.
Yeah,
the 10-win Broncos.
I think it's just the Texans game you have different.
Then it's the Bills and Eagles one.
Right.
Yeah, all right, so
and
good. I'll take. So it's cool. I'll take a 3. I'll take a 3-game lead over you instead this week, Drew. That's what it'll be. I'll take a 3-game lead, and then we just gonna keep stacking up them wins, and I'm gonna win that championship belt, baby. I'm gonna get that.
I eat my own shit.
I'm winning that championship belt. NFL Pick'em Week 12 predictions: Packers at Lions Thanksgiving game.
Going with the Lions.
With the Lions.
Give me the Lions. Commanders at Cowboys.
Going with the Cowboys. One of the hottest teams in the game right now.
Cowboys take care of business.
Dallas.
Give me the Cowboys. 49ers at Seahawks.
Going with the Niners. Seahawks are on fraud watch.
Niners.
Big cock Brock.
Division games are always tough, but I got to go with the Niners. They're red hot right now. Dolphins at Jets. We know this game would be different if Aaron Rodgers is playing, but give your predictions here.
Fan, it's up. We're here.
Yeah, Dolphins should win, unfortunately.
Miami.
I sadly got to go with the Dolphins if we're starting Tim Boyle. Buccaneers at Colts.
Going with the Bucks. They've been playing some sneaky, slightly above average football. They can get it done versus the Colts.
I'm the only one on the Colts this week. Give me Indy at home.
I also picked the Colts.
Just kidding. Riv's on the Colts with me. It's my brother.
This is the game that starts the streak for the Bucks to make that NFC South division crown push. They go 5-6 after this week. I got the Buccaneers. Patriots at Giants.
Going with the Patriots. Bill Belichick's not losing to Tommy DeVito, unfortunately.
Nobody should be watching this game. It shouldn't even be televised. But give me the Patriots.
Patriots.
I thought he wouldn't lose to Sam Howell either, but he found a way to lose against Sam Howell.
It's cool that you're
I don't know what's going to happen.
Sam Howell. Imagine that.
I got to go with the Patriots here. This is my last time. Picking them in a pick 'em. Steelers at Bengals.
Going with the Steelers. Jake Browning's, I just can't trust him.
Going with the Steelers too.
Steelers.
I have a gut feeling that the Bengals are going to come out and just do things offensively.
So then pick the Bengals.
So this is one of the games I'm going to change my pick on. I'm going to pick the Bengals in this game. I don't think Jake Browning is going to be completely horrible against the Steelers. I think he's going to be able to move the offense somewhat. I got the Bengals.
Your
in this
record
one.
picking the Bengals is hilarious, by the way.
Panthers at Titans.
I'm going with the Titans. Derrick Henry's going to have an amazing game.
Can't trust the Panthers offense. Can't trust Bryce Young. Give me the Titans.
I am also I'm going with the Panthers.
Give me Tennessee at home. Saints at Falcons.
I'm going with the Saints. The battle of the mids. I just think the Saints are the better mid.
Derek Carr should be back. Give me the Saints.
Give me the A.
I'm going with the Saints. I can trust their defense. That's really the only reason why. Rams at Cardinals.
I'm going with the Ramley.
I think this is going to be a close game. Kyler Murray's one of them ones, but give me the Rams.
Rams on the road. They need this win to further their playoff push. Give me them. Browns at Broncos.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Broncos heater continues. Give me Denver.
Cleveland continues to win, man.
I got the Broncos, but next week they'll lose and it'll end this streak. Bills at Eagles.
Hater. I'm 100% going with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Jalen Hurts is 26-2 in his last 28 games. He's not losing this one. Give me Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles fucking fly, man.
Bills are in desperation mode. Can never count out Josh Allen. Leads the NFL in total touchdowns. I think Josh Allen has a defining season performance in this one. Chiefs at Raiders.
Going with the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Clean sweep. We're all going with KC. Ravens at Chargers.
Going with the Ravens. They might put up 40.
Another year of the Ravens getting hurt. Lamar Jackson's going to find a way to win, though. Give me the Ravens.
Baltimore.
Give me the Ravens and give me a Zay Flowers big-time game. The Chargers took Quentin Johnson over him. He must be outright at that. Give me the Ravens, Zay Flowers big-time day. And last game of Week 12, Bears at Vikings.
Going with Skull Nation.
Give me Minnesota.
Give me the Vikes.
I'm going with Josh Dobbs and the Vikings, and that's going to do it.
Minnesota!
NFL Week 12 predictions. As you guys know, we'll be back here next week on Patreon. We're feeling a little bit generous, fellas. What do you think? Should we drop this on a full YouTube channel for the pick asadas? Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Happy Thanksgiving.
That, I don't know, the first like 15 minutes of the show was just so bad. It was so bad. Maybe cut out that first 15. Yeah. Patreon can see that and they can get the other 40.
Yeah, that first 15 was mind-numbing content. But it's all right. We're here.
What do you got to say, Riv?
Well, we're looking at you, Joel.
No, I'm looking at Riv. He had not said a word.
We were up here just talking about games. One person was making a pick, then we would move on. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, don't drop that shit, bro.
No.
What we have to decide on is we have to decide where we're getting the championship belt.
We'll order it online. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's definitely a site that has them.
We'll throw it on the company card.
We definitely should we get the championship belt with a name on it already? So like after somebody wins, we order it, or should we have it displayed in the studio in like a case and like whoever wins
to my fucking crib, boy.
Whoever wins is the person who gets to open up the case and get the belt.
You could I know for fantasy football they have some where you could like put in slots. So we could put in like 30 slots or however many. So year by year when we go, it'll be like, all right, Joel won this year, I won this year, Drew won this year, Ray won this year. So then we can keep track.
That sounds good. Listen, we're gonna figure that out.
Shit in my crib.
Patreon. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. NFL Pick'em Week 12. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.